Welcome to the war. Okay, game 5 of my Test of Honor campaign. And in this match, we're going to be seeing the Oda Clan over here attacking the Honda Clan on this side in a scenario called Chess Match. So I'll give you the quick synopsis and then explain the mission. So two rival heroes use all their cunning and experience trying to outsmart their opponent, sending portions of their force to attack from different directions and react to the enemy's movements, hoping to gain the upper hand. So this is going to be another one of those kind of higgledy-piggledy forces coming on at different places at different times kind of battles. And essentially, the Honda clan here are going to be playing in this game. They're the defender, so they will be set up in the center of the table or around the center of the table, represented by the shrine here, and looking to defend 5 objectives, which I've got marked with tokens. They're all at least 8 inches from the edge of the board and 6 inches from each other. So we've got one here amongst the cherry blossoms, the one here by the soy crops, another one here on the edge of the field, one here over by the river, and another one here between the lanterns. Each force is split into 2 equal halves of 12 points each. Again, not playing with allies, that will be a third wave of combatants, but I've got 2 that I'm playing with here. And we're going to play for 5 turns to see who can control the most amount of objectives. The defender, the Honda clan, set up in the middle. The Oda clan, pick a table edge. I haven't determined that yet, which edge they're going to come on. And then after that, I think, let's see, at the start of the second turn, then the other 2 groups of warriors, the 2 groups of 12 each, come on from the remaining 2 table edges. So with that being said, I'm going to do a quick run through of the forces, just get everyone up to speed with character progression, things like that, and let's get started. Okay, for our Oda clan, we've still got our mounted samurai here, or a mounted samurai captain, I should say, Oda Nagamasu. Based on the last campaign game result that he had, the celebration and carousing that he got up to has left him with starting this game with a dishonor card face up. In this case, that's the timid troops one, limiting a group's ability to maneuver. You're going to see as I go down the line here, if the unit has its activation token on its card, that means it's starting in reserve. So yes, the mounted captain, I figure he can run on, move a little faster, so he's starting off the board. Same applies on the other side. Then we've got our Ashigaru Scout Sergeant, who will be starting along with the runner. They kind of synergize off each other. A unit of scouts, they'll be off the table. 2 units of spears are going to be coming on. The more elite with the special skill card, musketeers or handgunners, they're going to be off, but the other ones are on. So that's how we're lining up with the attackers. And haven't decided what table edge they're going to come on yet. We're going to wait and see how the defenders set up. Let's go take a quick look over here. We'll just do this all in one go. So here on the Honda side, we can see, put my notes here, don't miss anything. All right, so Honda Tadasuka, remember, he got that extra plus agility skill. He's got agility 6 in this game. And as you can see, he will be starting on the table in defense. Honda Yashihito will be starting off the table. The Scout Sergeant will be on. The more elite unit of Ashigaru Spearmen is on, as is the other unit of them. I've taken the Bannerman off, the Musician off, and the Archers off. So they will be coming in reserve, but this is the side of the forces that we'll be deploying first. So I'm going to get them set up and then see how we want to handle deploying the other clan. All right, let's get started with deployment and get on with turn 1. Okay, deployment. So the defenders here have set up within 12 inches of the center of the table with their 12 points of forces that are allowed on. Already you can see they're holding some of the objectives. We've got this unit of spearmen here that are holding one. This unit are sort of able within fairly close distance of that objective and not too far from that one there. Then we've got our leader here who is already holding one, and the sergeant here who's holding one. So yeah, right from the beginning of the game, the defenders are holding on to 3 of the objectives. They could quite easily have held all 5, but sort of reasoning that they don't need to hold all 5, they just need to hold the most. So, and you know, wanting to be a little flexible here too. So undecided on where their reinforcements, the defenders, I believe, get to pick which of the remaining 2 sides they get their defenders or their additional forces to come on. We'll see how that plays out once the game gets going, or after the first turn, I guess. Then for the attackers here over with the Oda Clan, they've really kind of focused their efforts with the 1 unit of musketmen or handgunners, another unit of spearmen, and the runner here between the cherry trees. It's kind of a cool shot. I like that. And then over here we've got the sergeant and another unit of spearmen who are looking to make it down the road. Oh, another cool cinematic shot there. I like that. Love the table scenery here. But yeah, we're gonna get going. Let's see how this all plays out. You know, undecided on. Well, I've got more of an idea of where this side should bring on their reinforcements, but we'll see how that all plays out anyway. All right, on to turn 1. Okay, into the first turn, and it was a pretty cagey one for the defenders, while the attackers kind of tried to push us forward as much as they could. Interestingly, both sergeants, both the sergeant here and the scout sergeant over here, were able to use their special ability where they basically, if they move, then it gives another unit of followers a free move, a free activation, or not an activation, a move activation. And so while most of the defenders tried to just, I mean, really, they stayed on the objectives. The armored samurai hero, our leader here, didn't use any moves and needed this unit of spearmen. However, we just decided, or I decided that we can back off from an inch here and move back in the next turn if we have to. And this unit was able to get a little bit of a jump on that objective. However, they did take a casualty from the muskets, definitely doing their job there. So that's that pretty much summarizes the first turn. We did roll a couple of skills from you know, using the fate tokens to get fate cards. And I did want to call out, forgive me again, I forgot to pull separate mission cards for each side. So here our Oda Clan have the wait for the right moment quest, where they can make no charge or shoot actions for the first 2 turns. Well, they've done that for the first turn. Let's see if they can get it might not even be in the interest to do that. We'll see. And then over here for the Oda Clan, they got, again, this take the initiative card where cut down 2 enemy warriors before any warriors in your force are cut down. All right, so they're halfway there. That might work out. All right, turn 2. Let's see where the forces come on. At the end of turn 2, we have all of the forces on the table now. No additional casualties this round, but definitely both sides are kind of jockeying for position around who's doing what here. So for the defenders' part, that would be the Oda Clan. They actually started to funnel forces. Well, I say forces. We funnel the juggernaut or the behemoth of their leader over towards this objective. However, close to being contested by the Oda Clan leader. But they did move up. The bannerman moved onto the table and was then able to use, again, the sergeant's free move to get an extra move action. So now they're firmly in control of that objective, and the sergeant used that move to claim that. Over here, we did, or I did. What's the word I'm looking for here? I was able to complete the mission. We didn't charge with any, or charge or shoot with anything on this side. So in the third turn, they are going to be able to flip that fake card from the deck and give that to their leader, which is good. However, the attackers did drive their spearmen in for an attack, but it just bounced off. It didn't do anything. This is being contested here. Again, I would say, interestingly, the sergeant used his ability in combination, the free movement ability in combination with the scout running here, extending his kind of range that he's able to do with that with, and that was enabled the musketeers, or the handgunners, sorry, to both reload and then use that free move to move up a little bit. I think giving them some options of who they're going to shoot with here. Anyway, let me get to the main piece of the action here. So I thought this was really interesting. I kind of really believe these two leaders are just dying to get into a scrap together. And obviously with the additional movement that the mounted leader has, that really gives him an advantage. I set up this move with his second activation token so that he'd be within or outside of 7 inches of the Honda Clan leader. However, pulling a fate card, they were able to, or the leader was able to get this card that gives him an extra move. So that kind of negates that ability or that tactic that we were hoping to pull off here. And then, yeah, so I think this is definitely going to happen. Something exciting is going to happen here in the third turn. And then we've got our scout unit and our handgunner unit also looking to cause some mischief over here. So really interesting to see how this plays out, and I'm excited to get on with the third turn. Here we go. Okay, end of the third turn, and let's get to the main event. I will say, whilst this turn wasn't a particularly short one, I don't think maybe half the tokens were used, so it's certainly not every unit got to go at by any stretch of the imagination. Anyway, let's get to the main event. So the two enemy leaders both duped it out, I think, using nearly all of their activation tokens. Those did get pulled, and that led to the net result of the Honda Clan leader taking a blood drop, and 1 dishonor card, because it got to a point where I was like, not messing around with this anymore. Let's start rolling more dice. And then for the Oda Clan leader, he's in worse shape. He's got 2 blood drops and an arm injury. Now the arm injury doesn't matter, he doesn't have anything to aim with, but he's got no character roll off test of honor if that happens again. Outside of that, I will say shooting was ineffective for the Honda Clan. Sorry, for the Oda Clan. The Honda Clan was able to inflict a casualty on this unit of spearmen, making them run, and then a nice little synergy. These sergeants are really earning their keep in this game. This sergeant was able to move and then cause an activation, a charge activation with this unit. However, they even though it took them off of the objective, however, they fumbled on that, and they subsequently took a blood drop. So right now, we're as you can see, this objective, we've got Honda Clan members pretty close by. They can certainly take care of that. Oda Clan's in charge of that one. That one's arguably open. They're pretty close there on the Honda side. This one's still definitely in contention, although, my goodness, there's a lot of infantry here. Those 2 units, the scouts themselves didn't get to activate, and the unit of handgunners fired and then used a special ability to reload, or a card that they got for that. And then this token is firmly in Honda Clan hand. So as we move into turn 5, it's still, I think, anybody's game. Turn 4. We're going into turn 4. It's still anybody's game, but I think this is definitely going to come down to the wire. So let's get on with the next turn 4. Okay, for the 4th turn, it was a very bloody one for both sides, really, with the Ashigaru Spearmen doing a number on each side. I'll get to that in a moment. First things first, though, we were able to see the demise of the mounted cavalry leader. He was finally taken down. However, the scouts here were able to run in and attempt to avenge their master, but were only able to push off the Honda leader, but inflicted a blood drop there. So this objective is definitely being contested over. Meanwhile, again, the other, the traveling samurai was able to move up here, claiming this objective. A little bit of shooting. Shooting was fairly ineffective, I think, across the turn. We can see here the runner is for the Oda Clan is definitely making a making his intentions known by moving in on that objective and contesting that in the final turn coming up shortly. However, let's get to the meat of the turn. Was, my gosh, I've never seen the spearmen do such a number on each other. As you can see here on the Oda side, they took 2 casualties again in one round, and also lost the sergeant. He went down, and then on the Honda side, they also lost their sergeant, and 2 other spearmen have already gone or were also taken down. So this was quite calamitous, and even that was just the casualties. They both took swings in. There was a blood drop inflicted as well. So a lot going on. Again, I think this is going to come down to the wire on who's going to win this. As it currently stands, 2 objectives. Let me just look at this. No, 1 objective is contested. 1 is owned by the Oda Clan, and 3 are being held by the Honda Clan. However, they are all wide open to be taken in the next turn, or at least contested. So that's certainly going to come down to, I'm sure, some of these objectives aren't going to be counted in the final summary. All right, let's get on with the final turn. Turn 5. Here we go. End of turn 5, and it's a closely fought, but quite frankly, fortunate victory for the Honda Clan. They were able to hold on uncontested to 1, 2, 3 objectives. The Oda Clan held on to 1, and this one over here remained contested. Ultimately, what happened over here, the scouts were able to cause enough pulls of the action tokens for agility or avoid rolls for the leader. He ultimately only got to have 1 swing and 1 attack, which he succeeded with, but still they passed their test of honor, so only fell back the short distance contesting the objective. Other than that, yeah, it was quite the battle, and it really did come right down to the end. This unit of handgunners tried to shoot the musician here, who'd already taken out the scout. The scout was killed, but they almost got it. But he was able to avoid it, taking any damage and still hold on to that objective. So looks like we've got a clear winner here. I'm going to just show a quick video here for the character progression for the campaign component. Here we go. Okay, starting with our Honda Clan, our leader, our armored samurai here, Honda Tadasuka. He rolled on the character progression chart and got drained. So for his next game, he's going to be starting with 1 less action in the first turn. And then for Honda Yashihito over here, or Yashihito, he got celebration, and again got a little rowdy, got locked up for the night, and is going to start the next game with 1 face-up dishonor card. So not the greatest of results there, considering they won. However, over here, Oda Nagamasu, he's going to be starting the game with 1 blood drop. He got captured, and the result was him taking that blood drop. So that also being said, the part of the campaign character progression where you keep skills or you have the opportunity to retain skills, I just don't see the value of it at this point in the campaign. We've got so many skills stacked up that they're all effectively maxed out, and so when we're pulling fate cards mid-game, we can't use them. So I like to keep that little bit of extra intrigue within the game of pulling those random cards. But anyway, that's the end of that. We've got we're through 5 games now. We've got 1 more, what I'm going to call regular season game, and then we move on to the big final clash at the end. Really excited to see how it's going. Looking at the wins and losses, it's still fairly even. There certainly hasn't been one army that's risen to the top, but I have to say, Sorry about that. My camera just went black, and that totally wasn't because I forgot Honda Tadasuka's name. No, it wasn't. Yeah, he is certainly devastating with the amount of attacks that he can roll, and then that extra agility where he's got 6 agility roll dice that he's rolling to avoid really adds up. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna wrap things here. On to the next game. Hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Thanks for watching.